Hello, and welcome to Excel Highway, your one-stop shop for all your Excel needs. In today's video, I want to share with you how you can create a custom ribbon, just like this one, that has buttons that you can click and it does things. But the nice thing about this is if you create this custom ribbon this way, it only affects this file, and you can send it over to whoever you want and they will also be able to use that. If you like that, stick around, I'll show you how to do that. If this is the first time you're here, my name is Elad. I've been using Excel for more than a decade and I really like it. And I've been uploading YouTube content about how to use Excel, tips and tricks, if that kind of thing is what you want to see. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out the next content. Okay, in order to do this, if you're familiar with adding ribbons, let's say the basic way, which is to customize the ribbon and just adding things here, which is fine. But if you do that, there are two problems with this method. Number one, whatever you define will stick around with your Excels on this computer, so you can create any Excel and you will have that custom ribbon. Number two, if you send that file to someone like a colleague or you put it on a shared folder, anybody else out of your computer will not see this ribbon. It's just not going to work. So to fix those two things, you can use a software called Office RibbonX, which I'll add a link in the description where to download it. And basically, if you use that, I'll show you how to just build your own. So let's just create a new file, Excel file. In the RibbonX, I will open that file. Okay. And currently there's nothing here. What you need to do, just to get things started, you can click on it, click on Insert, Sample XML, Excel, a custom tab. Now this gives you a pretty good example of the capabilities, and if you just want to see how that looks, you can click on Save. You need to make sure that the file is closed before you click on Save. You can also click on Validate, get this nice pop-up message. So now if I go here to the new file, I get this ribbon called Contusu, I get all sorts of things. It's just what is over here. So, and here is where you can really easily just use that and just build on this. So for example, I want this to be called supply chain, right? And I don't want groups, I just want two groups. I don't want this one. And what I recommend for the group IDs and for the buttons is to just use group 1, and let's call that inventory, and custom button 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Why I like this method instead of names? Because it's very easy then to track, and if you have, I have a file for example that I have 6 different groups, a lot of buttons, so this helps me understand exactly where I am or what I'm supposed to do. Now the label, so the name itself doesn't matter, just has to be unique. The label, so this could be outbound and production, sorry, let's call this inbound. This is the name that's going to appear, right? Outbound. The size, you can use large or normal for the icon size. On action, this means when you click on the button, what happens. So I'm going to reference, I'm going to show you later how it really looks, but you're basically telling them what macro to run. So we can call this in pro out. And the image, if it's image MSO, this means it's taking the image from the Microsoft Office pictures. So you can Google this if you want to use MSO, image MSO gallery, and you can see PDFs or examples. So this tells you exactly what the name that you need to write. So if you write add or remove attendees, then you will see this icon. Okay, so right now the example has bold, italic, and underline. That's why you see it. That's why you see these. Okay. Now I'm going to change that to a custom images. I think custom images are much nicer. The way to do it is, first of all, you delete the MSO text, so it's only image. Second step is to click on this button, insert icons, and I've already have those icons with me, so I just click them and add them. And then you just have to change the name. Outbound. Now if I want another group, I just copy the group all the way, and then I have group number 2, and I'm going to call it navigation, and then I'm going to switch this to 2.1, call this home, and on action home, and images home as well. Sorry, this should be image inbound, this should be image production, and this should be outbound. Now once I'm done, I have to close the file. I click on save, click on validate, and I can get some errors. You see I get some errors. Group 1, according to data type. See, I can't have a space in the group ID name. That's why it's good to have a validation. So, and then once you get this pop-up message, you know everything's okay. Click on save the second time just to be on the safe side. I click on the file, and now you see the name changed to supply chain. I have one tab with 3 buttons and one tab with 1 button. It's not going to work because I didn't set up all the macros. But now just to show you the next step, you go back here, you click on generate callbacks, and this gives you this text. I just Control A, copy, go back here, developer, Visual Basic, insert model, paste that over here, and now basically there's 2 options. I need to save that as a macro enabled file. Let's do that. Okay, back to Visual Basic. Now what happens is that when you click on any of these buttons, which we defined over here, so I and B macro is connected to that button, for example, then something will happen here. This is the beginning of the code. So for example, you could put a message box, test, and you don't even need to save, and you get this message, right? What I did in the other file, the file that I started with, the real file, let me now open that because now you understood how to create a very basic and nice ribbon. I connected these buttons to really the same buttons I have over here, which create user forms. Okay, I have the same thing happening here, and also I have a navigation to go back to the home page. And if you want to see how that one looks, we need to go over here. You can see I'm just referencing a macro that I already have. Notice we don't use the call, so you just reference whatever header you have for the other functions themselves. Don't use call, but just use that, and that's how it works. Or you can create your own macro within that code, which I don't recommend. Okay, so that's it. It's pretty simple. Use the Office ribbon, use the example, change the example, save, adjust, see how it looks until you get something that you're satisfied. You can always play with that, and that's it. Once you do that, every time you open the file, you or someone else, they will see this nice ribbon that you see. I put the icons themselves as an image, so it looks very nice and clear. That's it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. That helps. Subscribe so you don't miss out new videos. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and I hope to see you next time. Take care now.